Today we have an artist from Los Angeles. Her name is Sophie Powers. She's a relatively new artist, and she's been making big waves in the hyperpop scene. Originally from Toronto, she has been making music for a while now. And today we will be interviewing her. Um, so Sophie, you are live on air. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Um, just to get things started here, um, let's talk about my first question, just to get the interview started off here. Do you have a favorite song?
Um, yeah, I do. Well, it changes every day. Like literally changes every single day. Currently though, my favorite song would be Pretend We're Dead by L7.
Awesome.
How about you?
My favorite song has, for the longest time, has been Deathbed by Powfu. Um,
Okay.
really love that song. It's one of my favorites. I also love Tinted Green by the same artist. Um, so you're new to the hyperpop scene. So let's talk about a little bit about your music. How would you describe your music to our listeners?
I would say I listened to way too much Lady Gaga and Avril Lavigne growing up, and her early day electronic synths, by her I mean Lady Gaga, and Avril Lavigne's early day pop punk um, melodies and cadences have really been ingrained into my brain. I listened to all kinds of music growing up. Toronto, Canada, it's a very diverse city, diverse country, was around all different cultures, was a theater kid. So I would really say it's electronic, hyperpop, punk, dark pop, um, all at once.
Kind of a melting pot, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Is Toronto a big hyperpop scene, would you say?
honestly, from my experience, no. But I would say there's a big rave EDM um
Okay. Yep.
scene out there, and not that that's all this at all the same thing, but there's definitely, if a hyperpop artist went to Toronto, there's definitely a demand
Oh,
that
100%.
it all blends over. So
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Um, so let's get back to your roots. I know you said on other interviews that you were, kind of a theater kid that um, at some point people are like, you sound good, you should do music. Um, I know a lot of artists that have also had a similar kind of experience like that. But what really drove you to actually start making music?
I wrote and recorded my first song when I was 8,
Mhm.
and took a break to pursue actual theater. I was still songwriting, but not like recording all my original songs. Wrote so many bad songs. I think the thing that pursued me most, sorry, there was a bug. The thing that pursued me most towards making music, I've been wanting to do it for so long. One day I just woke up and said, like, I just want to do this full time. And that was right after I turned 15. Um, I really realized how short life is. I was like, 15 years just went by like that. Like, what
Right.
am I gonna do with my life? I've been acting for so long. I've been making some money at it. I love music. I've been not making money at that, but theater, you're singing, so I guess
Of
kind of
course.
counts. I also did TV acting, not just like theater. So, like, my parents knew I was passionate about it, and they let me go full sales ahead after my 15th birthday.
That's amazing.
Kind of feels like it came out of nowhere in terms of what motivated me, but like I had just been sick of hiding it for so long, and
Hmm.
hiding my original songs and not being able to tell people that I'd been doing choir, taking singing lessons outside of school, and like so many kids probably don't have that opportunity and would want to brag about it. So
Right.
the fact I felt that type of way about it, like, just it wasn't good. My parents knew that, and here I am.
And you're doing great so far. Um, so would you say like you started writing music when you're 8? Would you say that you've always really kind of had a passion for writing music since then?
Yeah, it never went away, but I kept suppressing it.
I see. Um, and I'm really glad that you kind of figured out how to actually express it. Um, so
Yeah.
another question along the same roots is who or what were your inspirations when you started writing music?
Well, first song when I was 8, Taylor Swift, because that was playing on the radio, and she was writing love songs, and that seemed to be working out for her. So I figured I'm gonna write a love song, even though I didn't know about love. Obviously, it was 8. After
Fair
that,
enough.
though, through maturity, I would say I developed my musical taste. Really, always admired the storytelling of Bruce Springsteen and the non-poetic poetry of Kurt Cobain. Um, I would also say Lady Gaga and Grimes are
Grimes,
both
yep, Grimes is a good one.
really cool
Hmm.
in their like melodic capabilities as well as songwriting. I really look up to both of them.
Absolutely. I was also I was actually listening to Grimes earlier today.
No
So
way.
yeah, reminded me a lot of your music.
Ah,
Um,
you.
so
You
I
actually
know
commented on my TikTok recently about one of my
really.
outfit
Oh
designs,
yeah, I saw that.
which was really
I
cool.
saw that. Yeah.
She followed me back too.
Um, cool. So I guess the next question is a lot of artists tend to produce their music in different ways. What are your steps now when producing a song? I know that you have a producer at the moment,
Okay,
correct?
with you if I have some Welches.
No problem, of course. Yeah,
Don't worry.
go
That's not
straight
allowed
ahead.
here. Just I love Welches so much. Anyways, in
Yeah, I
terms
can't
of
blame you.
producers, you're asking like sort of what
So
how
what's your,
I discovered that, what my
I
process is.
guess, I guess right now, like what yeah, kind of what your production process is right now.
I mean, my producer Mike is the musical director of
Hmm.
like me and him and our coworker and co-writer Cam. They're both from Toronto and they get the vision that I have and they have their own vision of course as well for me. So normally me and or Cam might come up with like a synth line and then we'll use it in a song and Mike will turn it into a song or I'll hear Mike making a beat like in Nosebleed. I don't know if you hear like those like do do do
Yeah, I love
do
that. I
do
love that beat.
in the chorus. I
Absolutely.
like did that by mouth. I'm like, can you add that? I'm like, I'm hearing this like do do and I'm like turn down the 808s, turn up the like whatever, you know. I have some production knowledge just from watching him do it so much. So there is a
Awesome.
bit of a co-production factor when it comes to that, but he steers the ship and you know, me, I freestyle melodies and then
Hmm.
Cam helps me fill it in with lyrics, or Cam will freestyle melodies and I'll help him fill it in with lyrics. And it's really just all about the mood that the music itself is providing dictates where we go melodically and lyrically. I would say that's
Awesome.
my process at the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So you kind of have this idea inside of your head, and you want to put that to I guess not pen and paper, but more into your digital audio workspace. I completely understand that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And yeah, I love the beats that have been produced on your tracks. They're really satisfying.
Thank you. Me and Mike, I moved in to this house of musicians when I was 16. So Mike met me
Hmm.
when I was 15. You know, when you're just like discovering still different kinds of music.
Right.
Even 15 to 19 are very critical years for developing your musical taste and what you gravitate towards.
Absolutely.
Mike is born in 1984. He grew up in the 90s listening to the Smashing Pumpkins and uh,
Awesome.
Nirvana and Soundgarden, Radiohead, all that. I grew up in the early 2000s, so I already had the dance pop in my
Right.
brain.
Yeah.
And he used to be an EDM DJ as well in this group called
Oh,
Toro
really?
Toro. So he
Okay.
had the electronic background already. And I also loved rock music. My dad loved rock music, just grew up playing it all the time. My first concert was Bruce Springsteen. So we have the same taste.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Really an impressive production. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'll tell him.
So I appreciate it. He sounds like a cool dude. Um, Next question is a lot of sorry, how has collaborating with other artists in the field helped you personally as an artist?
I've learned so much from so many talented artists, even when I'm not collaborating with them.
Right,
Even
of course.
just chatting and being friends with other artists. And one of my good friends, um, TX2. I don't know if he
Hmm.
says his real name on or like his legal name online or not. So we'll call him TX2 as his artist name.
I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah, great, great guy. I haven't collaborated with him on a song,
Right.
but I would still go to him for advice on songwriting or a personal level or
Oh yeah.
business. But credit where credit is due. The artists that I've collaborated with, I'm so grateful to have
Hmm.
collaborated with them, and it's been really fun. I haven't had a single collab, honestly, and I can say this honestly. I haven't had a single collab I've ever thought, yeah, I kind of wish I didn't do that. I love all the
Right.
songs done with people.
That's awesome. Yeah. Um, would you say that collaborating with artists has helped you kind of define your own style of your own songs? Or is that something that
No,
kind of grow on its own?
I wouldn't say so. I think it's defined um my boundaries. Like I never thought Satori Zoom would have been able to hop on one of my songs,
Right.
but it works.
Uh-huh.
So it's really actually expanded what I think I'm capable of doing musically and what I can see myself um, doing musically in the future.
Mhm. Right. The next question actually is what are your plans for future music? Are you planning on collabing with TX2?
There we go. There's not a collab in the works with me and TS2, but I love that dude. Like that would be so
Would
fun.
you want? Yeah, so you would want to.
Definitely. He's
Oh
the
yeah.
homie.
Oh yeah.
I think
I love him.
in the future, in terms of plans aside from collaborations, I have some singles coming out early 2024. I have a new single coming out November 10th though.
Okay. That's
And
exciting.
It's called Better on Mute. So I'm super stoked about
Right,
that.
right. We've all heard clips of that.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna try not to spam it too much, but you'll see some more
Hey,
clippies.
I respect it. I respect it. Um,
Um, yeah,
er,
and then 2024, my plans are to put out an EP and tour and
nice.
do singles.
Yeah,
And the EP is probably gonna come out in like April or May. So
fair enough. Fair enough. Are there any plans for a full-length album or any ideas for a full-length album in the future?
yeah, I already know what I want. Like my EP, the EP after that, the album
Right.
after that, the album
Mhm.
after that. I know what I want them all to look like.
That's amazing.
I
Yeah.
have so many ideas. It's just about figuring out timing.
Of course. Yeah, I totally get that. Totally understand that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you actually kind of kicked things off with an EP back. When was that?
That was in
It- it-
2021.
right. So that was kind of after and also kind of during.
Wait, I think that actually might have been in 2022.
That's it.
Let me
I know you
guess.
started. I know you started releasing songs like after and during the whole COVID era.
I started releasing songs in 2021, like April,
Hmm.
I guess end of March, but
Fair
the
enough.
EP came out in 2022.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So those that was a
May.
bit. That was last year. And you've made amazing progress since then as well. Um,
Trying.
well, you sure are doing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So of course. Um, so you did mention earlier that you did theater, that you were focusing on theater, and
Yes.
that also helps you kind of get more into, singing and stuff. And so what prompted you to actually start doing theater?
I just love performing. I love being the center of attention. I
Fair
don't
enough.
want to hide it.
Mhm.
I like entertaining people and expressing myself through these characters that aren't me because it's still a part of me.
Right,
And then I feel that way about my songs. Each song is a different character and a different color, and
right,
that each song has its own world. And that's kind of similar to theater. You're just playing different characters in different worlds and still singing. Like,
right. Yeah. So, why don't you actually tell us a little bit about, since we were mentioning about collaborating with other artists, you recently released your single Litmosh with, I believe, is it pronounced Psycho or Sicko?
Psycho.
Psycho. Okay. Um, how'd you guys go about writing that?
Well, he sent me the track, and then I just did my thing on it, and he really liked it. Um, and we were like, okay, we're gonna do this. Let's do it.
Nice.
Um,
Uh-huh.
he is one of the nicest people I think I've ever met.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
have to say that. And so, so talented. Um,
Hmm.
like just unique.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. He's also
Yeah.
he's also big in the hyperpop scene as well. Um,
Yeah.
so
Cool.
we can kind of shift gears here, and let's talk about your kind of fashion line now that you've been working on, because music isn't the only thing you do, is it?
It's not. The fashion line is in the works, and I've been really focusing on music, so it's taking a lot longer than I would like for the fashion line. I've also met with several manufacturers, and I just want it to be done right.
That's completely respectable. Yep, that's definitely the right way to go about it.
So I'm not rushing.
Of course.
I am also constantly designing outfits for every single one of my shows or styling all my outfits for shows and
Mhm.
designing outfits for every music video, events, etc. So there is a lot being done outside of just that clothing line that I'm
Mhm.
designing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Merch. I've also been designing some stuff for that, just for on the road touring. But yeah, I'm really excited to get that off the ground, and I want people to feel like a video game character and an in real life cartoon character when they wear
that's awesome.
my designs,
Yeah, yeah.
like a superhero.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, those outfits definitely give me the vibes of a superhero and video game characters. So that's completely respectable. And also, it's great that you're doing it the right way, because I know a lot of people rush into things, and it just makes it worse. Um,
Well, thank you.
of course, yeah. Um, we can going back to I guess uh production wise, um, would you say that you're wanting to do more? Uh, you mentioned earlier that like collaborating with other artists has really opened like I guess opportunities, or way to say it, or like your ability to write bigger. music. I don't know how to word it right. Um, but you're
My
saying
musical like influence, you mean?
I get not really. Are you planning on? I guess way to say it is kind of
Expanding
expanding, right? Yeah.
would be the term I
So
could use for
yeah,
musically
yeah,
expanding
musically expanding. That's a great
my
way to
sound.
put it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
your sound as well. So is that something that you're working towards with your music with the new EP that's coming out next year and the future stuff after that?
Yeah, definitely. Have I'm sitting on two EPs worth of songs, so I might try and drop both in 1 year. We'll see how it goes. But
Uh-huh.
some of the songs are super hyper pop. Others are really pop. Like I could hear it playing on a radio,
Fair
and
enough.
even like taking I don't know. My sister's put me on to Taylor Swift too much recently because just sitting down with a guitar and writing a strong song though is there's so much to be said for that.
Of
And I have
course.
so much respect for, any artist or any human that can do that. I definitely have been getting better at songwriting and a lot's going on in my life.
Hmm.
And I want to touch as many genres as I possibly can before I die. So
Fair
um,
enough. Fair enough.
that's a little bit dark, but
Hey, I mean it's yeah, that actually sounds amazing. Touching on more genres, more styles of music. And I also think part of it is that, artists can switch up their style from, hyper pop to just regular pop. I know
yeah,
several amount of huge artists that have done that. And I think the big thing that kind of ties listeners together is just the artists themselves. When you're writing music, you really put that passion into it, that unique passion and style from specific artists. Um, so that really helps. Uh,
um sorry, you froze.
oh, did I? I was saying I know a lot of bigger artists have branched out, done different genres of music, and their fans have still supported them because I think a lot of the kind of sparkle from artists comes from the passion themselves that they put into their music and not so much having to stand by a strict genre. And I know I personally know a few artists that have done that, and they've really enjoyed it. They've really it's really been uh, put even tying still more
Yeah,
of the community get together. So um, yeah,
definitely.
definitely. So um,
No, I'd be
is
fortunate. I'd be so fortunate to be supported if I made a country album tomorrow. I'm not saying I'll do that, but maybe in 5 years I will. Who
I
knows?
think I think a lot of the fans would definitely still enjoy that your music, especially as an artist. Um,
We'll see.
we'll see. Well, even Taylor Swift started out writing country music, and she kind of switched genres back into more poppy stuff. So, um,
True.
mhm. And
Very true.
obviously, you're talented when it comes to music, as well as your producer. So, I'm sure that
Thank you.
anything else that you would put out would still be great. Um,
Thank you so much.
of course, that's pretty much all the questions I had for you. Is there anything you would like to talk about yourself?
I think I would just like to say that anyone who's listening to this right now, thanks for listening. It means a lot. It also means a lot listening to my music. It's Sophie Powers on all platforms.
Hmm.
And my, I guess, self promo for the socials. Otherwise, they'll get yelled at by the management. But no, I'm kidding. My socials are Sophie Powers. But it's like a zero, so P0WERS. But
Hmm.
yeah, um, Sophie's with the PH, by the way, as well.
Hmm.
And I guess stay tuned for Better on Mute. I'm super excited to drop that song November
I'm
10th.
really excited as well.
hopefully I can tour and meet anyone listening, or even you, Samuel, like in person.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I saw that you're actually coming up to Boston on, I believe it was November 20th,
oh yeah, that's all
which is
I
around our area. It's about
promote.
2 hours
I,
away from here.
I should promote that. I'm going on tour with Teen Queen for I'm doing
Hmm.
6 shows, hitting Philadelphia, Toronto, New York, uh, Detroit. I gotta look at the other shows, but I know there's two more.
Which is a lot are actually up here. So if you're listening at home, she's going on tour. So definitely
I'm
stay tuned for
excited.
that. If Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you coming on here and doing this interview. We're actually going to start playing some of your music here um in a moment after we conclude this interview. So I my question is, songs do you want to be played first?
Ooh, well, I'd say Clearview is a very all-encompassing song, and it's a collaboration with No Offense, who is currently on tour right now. So shout out No Offense. That's always a fun one, and I really have been jamming out to my Taylor Swift cover, which hasn't been released, and I probably don't think will be released
Fair
because
enough.
unless it blows up, it's just like it's a hassle. You know
It's a
how it
hassle to get
is.
the licensing for that. Yeah, of course.
But
Um,
aside from that cover, Nosebleed and Bathroom Floor, I put out both those tracks this year.
mhm.
So my
We'll
most
definitely be
recent
playing those.
music, yeah, if you want to bop, vibe, play whatever you want. I really do appreciate you having me on here. Thank you.
Of course, I've really enjoyed having you on here.